Hello, Health Minister. Welcome to Good Food Talks.
Hello. Thanks for calling me for this program.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be on this show. What we do on Good Food Talks is, we've been having a series of conversations in the space of food. There's a lot that has gone wrong with food in today's day and age. What our parents could easily eat, thinking that this is pure, this is healthy, today has to be looked at, with a microscopic lens. And hence, we're having conversations to basically create awareness around this space on what are some of the things that you really need to think about that is happening in the food ecosystem, which you may or may not be contributing to, but it's definitely affecting that the food that you eat and your family eats. We've had different guests so far who have come from various walks of life. We've had people who've spoken about climate change and the impact of climate change on food, waste in the cities and the impact of waste on food, and water, the kind of water that is there in today's day and age, and the impact of that on food. So today we're really, really thrilled to have you here, to have you as a part of this show, because we feel like there's so many questions that we all have that I feel like is going to get answered and clarified through you.
Sure, I'll try and answer as to the best of my ability.
Thank you so much. A common man, that does not really fully know what a health minister does. So what does your day look like?
No, health minister, of course, it's a huge responsibility because one is we have to take care of our health facilities, and there are always issues which keep cropping up on a day-to-day basis, and we have to be alert. And you know how the government system functions, so there are always some lacuna, some deficiencies, and we're always trying to set things right. So the challenges in terms of administration, challenges in terms of delivery, and of course new issues keep cropping up, new diseases keep cropping up, or something other that keeps happening. So we have to be on alert mode most of the time. So that way I think in a way, I think after the home minister, that is who's in charge of law and order, the other most sensitive position in a government is being a health minister, because it's very sensitive. Because something goes wrong, people get very agitated, people get worked up. It is definitely a very challenging task. So my day to day is always morning, check the news first, health news, what's happening, what is the latest. I think every day is a little bit different, but we keep trying to attend to all the issues that keep cropping up.
Pani Puri, which is a favorite of a lot of us, seems to be having.
Yeah, obviously, Pani Puri is like a clear case, it's a prime suspect, I can say, because of the water and the handling, and basically also it's a lot of street food.
Right.
So of course, chaats and Pani Puri also we did. I mean, this is we've been doing across many of these things we've done.
Right.
And, as far as possible, like even in malls, like so we want to get people involved. So we thought of an idea of why don't we put kiosks in malls where people can come and test their food.
Yeah.
If they feel if there is a doubt. So we did put up 10 kiosks in 10 different malls in Bangalore. Yeah. So the results have been kind of uneven. Many people have used it to just check the food quality.
Yeah. Basically educate children about the amount of sugar that is there in all the junk food that is so easily available, in our surroundings. I think it's a great move.
It is very good move. In fact, from our health department also, we have written to the education department. In fact, we've made out a chapter of all these things which need to be taught to school children, and we've told them to include it into their school textbook. But I think this year they could not do because the textbook was already finalized much earlier and went for print also.
Right.
So hopefully, I don't know whether they've included anything in this year's textbook, but by next year, whenever they come up with the next revision of the textbook, we want them to include these chapters in their learning.
All schools.
For all the government schools.
Okay.
For government schools.
Right.
Yeah. So we want them to make this a subject.
Yeah.
We put in a lot of data into it and some charts and how younger people are getting diabetes, sugar, and what are the reasons, and make them understand that, this has a direct impact on their own health and their own careers, their own futures. So I think what CBSE done, I think even our education department can look at it.
Yeah.
And probably, try and follow that.
Yes, implement it across. Yeah. So the entire generation is going to grow up knowing this. Yes. Yeah. One of the things we are doing at Kshayakalpa is we have a program called Good Food for Schools,
Yeah.
where we go to schools and we're teaching children how to grow their own vegetables. It's a 5-week program where children prepare the soil, they sow the seeds, we handhold them through the journey till the harvest is done.
So they can go back and do it in their homes.
They can do it in their homes, and they also have this understanding, right? Like,
Yeah.
because we don't treat food the way it should be treated, right? Like, when you know the amount of effort that goes into growing food, that you're going to look at and say, Mama, this is not nice, I'm not going to eat it, right? Like, but when you know the effort that has gone behind it, you're going to look at it very differently.
Yeah. I mean, it's also magical, no? Planting,
Absolutely.
sowing the seeds, and then it grows, and then it bears fruit.
Yes.
Or the vegetables come out, and then you eat it.
Yes.
It's got I think, something wonderful to it.
Yes. And as a part of this, we're also teaching them how to read labels, like just like turn the pack around. Just because in the front it says something, it does not mean that's the truth.
Yeah.
You turn it around, you'll know what is really there in the product.
Correct.
So, like, if more and more people do this, and if government also kind of does more of this, I'm sure,
I'll definitely pass this on
Thank
to
you.
our education minister.
So, what's next on your radar?
Next, I think, I don't know. I mean, we want to continue this. We don't want to stop. And we want to improve our lab facilities, all that we're working on, so that we're getting it properly accredited across Karnataka, not only Bangalore, Mysore, Belgaum, Gulbarga. So we want to have proper food labs there, so that everywhere they can be tested quickly, easily, and with good standards. And we want to see how we can take this, like I said earlier, to make it more where the consumer gets more involved. How we can do that. So that's, I think, the next thing, because our focus really gets a lot into the health. I mean, on the other aspect.
Yes.
So this is something that we need to keep on, coming back to it and pushing it.
Yeah.
But we realize it's important, and a lot of people have given us feedback that what has been done has been great.
Absolutely.
That, I think, is something. And so I think that's why we're doing this podcast.
Yes.
Because if we hadn't done this, I don't think it would have called us. It would have called me.
Yeah. No, because it's making headlines.
Making headlines. So I think we want to continue it, make it more effective.
Right.
And see how we can, we do a certain test and we sample certain things, and then we come out with the finding. Okay, then what next? Okay, we've done that. So how do we ensure that that continues, so that it just doesn't become a one-off thing, and then it stagnates or it reverts back to the normal old way. So how do we ensure that these people whom we have told that this is bad practice, they're continuing, or they've changed themselves.
Yes.
Or they've adapted to the new way of doing it. So how do we make it more effective? I think that is what we're looking at.
Yeah. No, I think like something as simple as the cotton candy color changing,
Yeah.
I think is a sign that the consumer is rejecting it. And when the consumer, and why is he rejecting? Because he is now aware.
Yeah.
And when he starts rejecting it, then everything will have to start changing.
True. I think the best way is the market itself should demand it,
Yeah.
So anything that is imposed always will have a problem.
Yeah.
But once it is got a natural thing to it, like an organic thing to it, then automatically it takes off.
Yes.
So I think that's what we're trying to do. And like every time people ask me, okay, you've done this, now what's next? But I say it's not that I can come out with what's next every time.
Right.
We want people to become demanding. People should say that this is what I want and this is what I don't want. The minute that starts happening, I think automatically things will change. Like idli, the plastic thing, it changed because people said, I don't want this idli.
Yeah.
Or why are you doing it like this?
Yeah.
So then automatically things change. So that's what we are. That's going to be the focus. And of course, on this, like I said earlier, the thing about this bad food, that is the junk food,
Processed
bad food,
food.
processed food,
Yes.
and all these things. I think there is something that we need to really ramp it up more. I think in the regulatory mechanism.
Yeah.
And that is what I think we want to push government of India to become more aggressive and change the rules, change the laws, so that we can be more strong in not only controlling it, but for people to know about these foods.
Yeah. So in the same podcast, we had someone who had come who said that in Sri Lanka, which is such a small country, the regulations are such that you have to put it on the front of pack.
Yeah.
How much sugar is there in this
Yeah.
product? How much salt is there in this product? And I think fats.
Yeah.
Those are the three things.
Those three things you just put. This is a high sugar product. This is a high salt product. This is a high, fat, high processed, ultra processed product. Whatever, you just put that big and known. That itself will, I think, for many people who may be knowing about it at somewhere at the back of the mind, but not realizing it when they're buying it, suddenly they look at it, I don't want this.
Yeah.
They should say, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Then, naturally things written somewhere in the back in small, hardly readable alphabet. Who's going to read that?
Yes.
Who's got the patience?
As when we did this whole good food for school program, the final event that happened, children were going around and asking the parents. So they were doing a presentation to the parents saying, what do you read when you pick up a product at a supermarket? So like 3 to 4 parents answered saying, I look for MRP, I look for expiry date.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
They don't see anything else. And of course, like if it is hiding in fine print.
Yeah, nobody's going to go look at it. So it should be like on the face. It should be in your face, that message.
Yeah.
So that I think if we can do, I think that will be a game changer. That will be a game changer. And though there's a huge lobby, the food manufacturers lobby, which is the food processing industry, which will, I think, lobby the governments. But I think it needs somebody to take one strong decision and say, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I hope we'll put pressure on our Union Health Minister, Mr. Nadda, whether if he can do it, then it will be fantastic.
Yeah. So there are two problems, right? Like in rural India and rural Karnataka, there is malnutrition.
Yeah.
And in urban India, there is obesity. And obesity is on the rise. So how do we strike a balance?
See, if you look at obesity, I think already many of the programs, they must have many of the experts would have spoken that wherever economies have gone up and whichever state is more developed, that's where more of these non-communicable diseases are happening.
Right.
More diabetes, more high blood pressure, more kidney diseases, more heart diseases, more cancers. So Kerala, Karnataka, all Tamil Nadu, all the southern states are the leaders in non-communicable diseases because we are better off than other states in terms of economy and everything. And people are able to afford the bad food.
We have a small segment called This or That.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a few questions, and like from your personal choices, you can, let me know. Are you a conscious eater or driven by cravings?
I'm conscious. No, but mild craving. I won't say I'm perfect. Yeah.
Guided by taste or mindful choices?
Guided by taste.
Eat in or dine out?
Nowadays eaten.
Because
Earlier
of daughters?
No, on my own, because after becoming this health minister.
Okay. Order in or cook at home?
Cook at home.
Okay. Locally sourced ingredients or exotic flavors?
Exotic flavors, I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Organic or conventional?
No, I've not really been looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not so specific.
Okay. Know my farmer or know my brand?
Neither. I don't look at anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Snacking throughout the day or structured meals?
Because of my profession, we tend to snack a bit.
Okay.
Because so many meetings and people keep giving something or other. But left to myself, it'll be more structured.
Okay.
If I'm a regular normal, but because of my profession, that's the problem.
Reusable containers or biodegradable packaging?
I've really not been focused too much on this.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't order in anything. I never order food.
Okay.
So maybe in my house, somebody else might, but I prefer whatever's cooked at home.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fresh produce or frozen convenience?
Fresh.
Food as nourishment or food as indulgence?
I'm somewhere in between.
Okay.
I'm not so much thinking about nourishment so much, but it's somewhere in between.
Someone else is doing that thinking for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Energy bars or homemade snacks?
Homemade snacks.
Homemade snacks. Tradition versus trend?
Tradition.
Super.
Yeah.
So overall, what message would you like to leave with consumers in terms of the food choices that they make to make sure that what they're eating is good, healthy, what they're serving in at their homes, what they're buying is good and healthy?
I think the best thing is to eat at home. Okay, indulge yourself once in a while, once a week, somewhere go eat and come. But if you can eat at home, what's cooked at home, whatever it may be, from wherever it may have come, that's the best solution.
Okay.
That's the best solution. Anything outside, you'll never know what it is. Maybe the topmost restaurant or the best place, we don't know, but ultimately we don't know.
Right.
So eat at home. Or eat home cooked food.
Home cooked food.
Yeah. Go to your friend's house and eat. Go to someone else's house and eat. Ask for home cooked food.
Which is what it used to be many years ago,
Yeah,
isn't it? When you host someone, you would
Yeah.
cook.
So that's the best thing.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all these insights with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling me. I think it's first time for me to be talking about a subject like food, which I'm no real expert, but I think I've tried to do whatever I could do, and
No,
hope this program has been interesting.
oh, it's absolutely interesting, and it gives us a lot of hope because we feel like like there's so many times you'll be like, huh, but nothing is happening, nothing is happening. This kind of tells us that a lot is happening.
We can be optimistic.
We can be optimistic and hopeful. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.